Hi guys, it's Stock Curry, and in today's video I'm going to explain what the Fed said that caused the markets to drop 2% in 1 hour. I'm also going to go over some earnings, and I also have a few stocks that you might want to consider buying the dip on. So let's get into it! Okay, as I said in yesterday's video, there are two parts to the Fed meeting. One is the meeting notes, where we learn what the Fed is doing in January, and the second is Jerome Powell's speech. The market initially rose on news that the Fed would do nothing in January, but once Jerome Powell started speaking, the markets fell fast. For the first time, the Fed was hawkish, and that is not good news for the markets. Jerome Powell said inflation is getting worse and that they expect inflation to continue getting worse. The Fed will have to raise interest rates to fight inflation. Jerome Powell also said that jobs are strong enough to be able to do a lot of rate increases without worries about hurting the economy. So that means a March rate hike is likely, and that 4 to 5 rate hikes this year are a real possibility. Regarding whether or not the Fed would do a very aggressive half-point increase in March, Jerome Powell indicated that it was possible. That's also not good news for stocks. And finally, when asked if the Fed was concerned about the stock market crashing, Jerome Powell basically said the Fed doesn't care about the stock market. Their only concerns are inflation and jobs. So the takeaway is that the Fed is more hawkish than people thought they would be, which points to more rate hikes and more aggressive rate hikes during 2022. That is bad for stocks, especially NASDAQ stocks. It might be good for banks, gold, and a few other sectors though. It also means inflation reports and jobs reports are going to be a big market mover for the next 2 months. The January jobs report will be released next week, and the January CPI inflation numbers will be released the week after. So regarding where I see the markets going from here, I don't actually know. I'm a little bit more bearish than bullish at this point, but because of the uncertainty, I'm not planning on opening any market positions. That is, we're not going to do any call or puts on SPY or QQQ or anything like that, although I am looking for some individual stocks that we'll probably trade options on. Alright, let's get into the stock earnings as well as some of the stock picks. Now, for those of you guys who are new to this channel, my name is Stock Curry. I used to work as an analyst for some large investment banks, and now I analyze stocks on here. Every single day, I spend hours and hours and hours watching videos from the top finance channels, and then I consolidate all of their stock picks and I put them together into a single video. If anything I talk about today piques your interest, make sure you listen to who I say talked about that stock, and then go watch their video to get the full details on what they said. Now, all I ask for putting all of this together for you guys is that you hit that like button, subscribe, and follow the page so that you can get notified when I release my next video. In fact, I'll give you 5 seconds to do that right now. Alright, before we get into today's stock picks, I do want to remind you that I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I talk about today is a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold. These are just my opinions, which may or may not be accurate. Please do your own research before investing in any assets. Alright, the first stock we're going to talk about today is C. This is Citigroup. Tom Nash listed C as one of the 3 best banking stocks to buy now that will benefit from rising interest rates. Tom Nash has a $77 year-end price target on C. C has a price-to-book value of 0.64, which is quite low, and it also has a dividend yield of 3.15%. Now, Tom Nash only gave a price target of $77, which is interesting because that is also a strong technical level of resistance for C. But I actually think Tom Nash might be low on his price target. If C were to get back to a fair book value of 1, it would be trading at a price of $101. Either way, we both agree that there is a lot of upside potential on C, and that C should rise in price even if the overall market goes down. And next up is GS. This is Goldman Sachs. Tom Nash listed GS as one of the 3 best banking stocks to buy now. Tom Nash gave a $460 year-end price target on GS, which would be a 34% upside from Wednesday's closing price. GS currently has a forward PE of 8.49 and a dividend yield of 2.33%. GS would have to rise in price by 65% to $565 in order to have the same forward PE ratio that Wells Fargo is currently trading at. So amongst all of the banking stocks, GS has the highest upside potential. Next up is NFLX. This is Netflix. NFLX rose over 4% after hours after it was announced that Bill Ackman's Pershing Square bought 3.1 million shares of NFLX. Ackman told investors that he liked the share price after it fell 30%. Bill Ackman is bullish on NFLX and said they have a great management team and that Netflix is a remarkable company. Next up is TSLA. This is Tesla, and they're an American EV manufacturer. TSLA reported earnings after the close on Wednesday. They beat on both revenue and earnings. Despite that, TSLA dropped 6% after hours. It then recovered once the earnings call started. Elon Musk said supply chain issues due to the semiconductor chip shortage would continue through 2022. And because of supply chain issues, Tesla will not be launching any new vehicles this year, including the Cybertruck. Despite that, TSLA does expect deliveries to increase this year as it brings its new Austin, Texas plant online. Tesla also plans to increase production capacity at its current Fremont, California plant this year. So because TSLA provided good forward guidance on the earnings call, we saw the share price recover. And next up is TTCF. This is Tattooed Chef. They are a plant-based foods company. Jeremy with Financial Education gave an update on TTCF today. He pointed to the fact that Target stores are starting to put TTCF products on their end caps, which is increasing awareness of the brands. The only question Jeremy doesn't know is when the SKU expansion will show up in their earnings numbers. He's not sure if it will show up last quarter or if it's going to show up for this coming quarter. Jeremy with Financial Education also has no idea what TTCF is going to report for earnings. Part of what makes TTCF so difficult to predict is the fact that they're still a new company. Also, they haven't had a press release in a long time, so we just don't have any information to make a prediction on earnings. Regardless, Jeremy remains very bullish on TTCF, and he thinks TTCF will diverge from the overall market direction and start going up even as the market goes down. I will also add that technically TTCF remains a falling knife right now, although it is oversold in the RSI, so it might bottom out soon. And last up is WFC. This is Wells Fargo. Tom Nash listed WFC as the last of his 3 banking stocks to buy now. He thinks WFC will end the year at $62. WFC was one of the few banking stocks to report good earnings last quarter, and the majority of their earnings came from loans. With WFC relying heavily on loans for revenue, rising interest rates will benefit WFC more than other banks. Now, WFC is trading at a higher valuation than a lot of the other banking stocks, so the revenue growth is mostly priced in already. Still, with a 1.5% dividend yield and a forward PE ratio at 14, there's still a chance for more upside on WFC. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video and got a lot out of it. Comment down below what you think the market is going to do for the rest of this week. And if you want more updates beyond just these videos, I do have a free Discord that I created where we talk about stocks, options, and crypto all day, day and night. If you'd like to sign up for the free Discord, you can do so at stockcurry.vip/discord. And over there, just fill out the short application. The application is just there to prevent scammers. The truth is, every single person who applies is going to get approved. Now, I also want to let you know that I do have coaching available, so if you want a little bit more hand-holding, you can sign up for coaching. April D said, I did great today thanks to Stock Curry's teaching and advice. I bought 2 extra SPY options when it bottomed out, then sold the original option when it went in the green, and sold the last 2 that I bought at a very low price at a profit of about $300 each just before the fall. Thanks to Stock Curry, I did okay, profit of about $600. If you would like help profiting in this environment, you can sign up for a coaching at stockcurry.vip/coaching. That's stockcurry.vip/coaching. And if you're looking for a broker to trade with, I do recommend Webull. Webull makes it very easy to trade multi-leg options. And right now, when you sign up using my link in the description below and deposit just $1, Webull's going to send you 2 free stocks worth up to $3,300. Also, when you make your first crypto trade, they're going to get you $5 in free crypto on top of that. Now, if you're not a US resident or if you're looking to trade OTC penny stocks, then I do recommend Interactive Brokers. Interactive Brokers is a highly discounted trading platform. They have options, crypto, they have the full pre-market and after hours trading from 4 a.m. till 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and trades start at just $1 Canadian, 4 euros, or 6 Australian dollars, depending upon where you live. Now, I do want to remind you that I have material connections with both of those, so whenever you sign up for either one, not only are you getting a great broker to trade with, you're also helping me to continue to produce these great videos for you. Now finally, I want to remind you to hit that like button, subscribe, and follow the page if you haven't already. I hope you have a lot of success trading, and I will see you tomorrow.